Hi everybody, so I have been doing a lot of crafting, and I'm actually working on a couple of different things, clay items, and I bought some new molds so that we can make some new resin creations together. But I said I need to do my nails. I have to do my nails. I am using these tips here that honestly, I think maybe one more use, and then I probably don't have enough of two sizes I would need to use this kit, so it's not going to be of any use to me anymore, but that's okay because I can just get another kit. This was a PR package, but I still have the little lamp it comes with. I still have the little file. I haven't used that yet. What is, I can't remember if there's something underneath. I don't think so. Is there? No. Okay, so yeah, once I use this kit a couple more times, excuse me, then I'll probably be good with it, and I probably won't be able to use it anymore. But I love these tips because I was just thinking, I'm like, man, and I think I only used these a couple of times, but I love these because they really prevent you from using so much gel or even to use so much acrylic. These nails are kind of built up to where it looks like a gel or acrylic nail. Let me get a little tweezer so that I can, for those of you that do not know of these tips here, they are beautiful. And like I said, this company makes these tips nice and, how do I explain it for those of you that don't know? This is just, it's pretty much a tip that is structured in a way that has an apex kind of already installed in the nail so that you don't have to build up the nail as much. Sorry, I was fumbling the nail tip. But I don't know if you can see, but there's almost a magnified effect. I really don't know if you can tell from here, but these tips are really, really beautiful. Now, I'm just going to show you on my fingers. Now I have little Miss Stubbs, little Miss Stubby Wubs. So I was like, I need to do my nails. But hold on, give me just one moment. While we focus in here. Maybe she doesn't want to focus. You being cranky today? She wants to focus on my clay items. You gonna focus? You gonna be nice? Oh, and the lighting wants to mess around too. See that? So it really just gives a beautiful structured look to your nail. Excuse my dry cuticles and very short nails. Okay, what is happening today? Can we get it together? Sorry guys, I'm trying to focus back out. Goodness. Normally, you know, and I'm going to leave that in too because that is part of recording. That's part of recording. That's kind of like the bittersweet of recording. Anyways, I say all that to say, and I love these tips that look like they are kind of built up already for you. They already come with strength so that I don't have to mess around with so much gel or acrylic or, you know. So, if you don't know about these tips, I will leave the link below. And I'm sorry that we're having difficulties focusing. It should already be focusing. I ain't gonna mess with it. I ain't messing with it. I ain't messing with you today. Nope, not doing it. Normally I mess with you, but I ain't messing with you today. So we, ladies, are using glue. I have been staying away from gel for probably a couple months now, and I felt like my skin was getting really, really irritated, and I don't know if that was contact dermatitis or what. I probably, but I feel like since I have stopped using so much gel, my fingers are better. I was kind of getting like little irritations, you know. And it wasn't so bad, but I would notice like little irritations here, little irritations there. And the more that I used gel, the worse that it got. But yeah, but it's much better now. So this is not a nail video, it really isn't. I'm not showing how to do my nails or do a tutorial or anything. I'm just going to get these on, and then I will be right back. Just glue. Just using Beauty Secrets glue for today. And honestly, if one falls off, I will pop it back on, clean underneath, and pop it back on. I don't want to have to deal with structuring out a whole other nail all over again or do a whole other set. It falls off, glue it back on. Glue it on. And honestly, I don't like putting glue directly on my nail because I feel like it thins it out a little bit. But for some reason, my nails grow a little bit when I use glue, especially if I have my nails on for a couple weeks without any falling off. My nails tend to grow. And also, I feel like when I do just a normal gel overlay over my natural nails, that is when my nails tend to grow more too. Other than that, my nails don't really grow much. I gotta kind of push them to grow. Grow, girl, grow. But yeah, my nails have always been not the strongest and don't grow much. I need more vitamin is what I need, girl. I know a lot of you are saying, yep, I do. I think I need to find some more vitamins. So that is my 4 fingers for the moment. I know you can't really see, but there we go. All right, let me get the rest of these on, and I'll be right back. I don't know if I'm staying with this length. This is quite long for you, most of you, or if not all of you are like, what? That's so short. Okay, but I gotta go to work and use my hands in a really, really physical job. I don't type, but it's, you know, I need my hands, need my fingers. Sometimes I gotta open things and can't open things. Like, look at the difference. That's a big difference. Hello? I don't got no nail, girl. I ain't got no type of nail. No type of nail. They just don't grow. They don't grow. They grow like little tiny bits at a time. Really little tiny bits. Little tiny bit. Little bit. Little bit at a time. All right. Let me get the rest of these on. So yeah, I am applying these, and when I put them on, I'll show you exactly how I do it really quickly. Just so you know, nothing to it at all. I will put a drop or two. Am I in frame? Hello? Thank you for telling me. Somebody out there was like, hello, you're out of frame. Again, this is not a how-to on my nails. We're just hanging out. And I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna record myself doing my nails because I feel like I just want to do something basic. And I said, you know what? Let me record a little something. Might as well. Okay. So glue is on. Boom. Now I'm lining up my nail, pushing the nail not too, as close as I can to my cuticle. Also, we want to make sure that the nail is straight, right? So keep your nail or your hand straight. And then the last thing that I want to do is make sure there's no air pockets, which there is one right there. And I am going to just, not push that hard. Hello. I am going to push. See how I slipped a little bit? Girl, we almost flew off the table. We almost flew off the table, now didn't we? Jesus, careful, girl. I know somebody's laughing, and if you are, I hope you are, because that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Okay, so I'm not letting go. I'm not letting go. We are going to hang out. I literally say hold it for probably a minute, and then I start to loosen up. 45 to a minute, and I'll start to loosen up a little bit. If this doesn't stay, there's a reason for it. I probably slipped and the glue probably dried quick. So if it doesn't stay, I get it. So we'll just do it again. No biggie. Sorry, I just keep checking. This is literally how I do it. Like off camera, this is how I look. This is how I do it. I just wanted to show you exactly what I do. Just when I'm not Gel-X, but just when I'm gluing, when I'm using just normal, regular nail glue. Sorry if you hear my heater on in the background. It's quite cold, and the temperatures have been kind of cold lately, so the heater is on. And I'm about to back it down because it's getting quite warm. All right. I'm going to let go. And honestly, I'll do that kind of test and see if we're nice and secure, because if not, I will take you off and we will retry. But it's good. There's a couple little bubbles there that I want to squeeze out. There we go. This is in, real time. Real time, everybody, real time. I wanted to show you a couple of my older clay creations as well, so I'll do that in a minute. Once I get these on, I probably won't do them with you, but I just wanted to hang out with you for a little bit as I did my nails, or started my nails, I should say. Hold on a second. I just gotta get close real quick so that I can see So this is what I'm talking about. Okay? Did you see that? You hear that? And you saw that, right? Hello? Okay. Get yourself some TIPEX. I like the TIPEX tips from, what is it? Five Angeles? What is it? I think that's what it's called. I know Beatles has some TIPEX. But I do like the structure of these. If they came, they don't come etched, but if they came etched for Gel-X, perfect. This tip is perfect for Gel-X. If it came etched, which is no biggie to like etch it underneath because you don't want shiny shiny, because the shiny shiny, well, for me, on my natural nails, it doesn't really like too much shine. It doesn't really like to adhere, right? I love that like built-in apex. That is beautiful. There we go. That is so nice. So beautiful. I love, love, love these tips so much. It beats us, sorry guys, it beats us having to do so many layers of gel or so many layers of acrylic or however many layers you use. But it beats doing all that. All right, let me get a couple more of these on. I love these tips so much. They're so beautiful. I had to get a little shot by the tank. They are so durable, strong. I don't see them breaking at all. It's just because I adhere them with glue. They might, if I lose one, I should be able to just get it right back on. If not, I'll just do a whole new set. But it's just easier to work with glue for me because of what I do for a living. And it just takes less time and also keeps me away from so much or using so much gel. So, but I love these tips so much. I want to see if I can get a few more shapes and sizes. I love these TIPEX tips so very much. They are the perfect thickness. They're so good. I love them. Something that I have been wanting to try is a rubber base. That I don't know, I don't know if it's going to work for me, but the only way to find out if it's going to work for me is if I try it. So that's something that I want to try and use and see if it works out for me. Hopefully it'll make my nails get stronger and grow quicker. So that's something that I want to try. I do want to see if that'll work for me under a set of press-ons. I don't know if that's going to work, but I do want to see if it does. So a rubber base is something that I definitely want to try. Sorry guys if you heard my TV a little bit. I am trying to do this voiceover, but I'm also watching something at the same time. So hopefully you didn't hear too much of my TV. But yes, these are some clay creations that I have made in the past, and I have been taking them out slowly because I have been wanting to make some newer creations. So here are some gingerbread men that I decorated, and I have not actually, I think I did put a maybe some sort of Sculpey glaze or something over them. It's definitely not resin. I have made some of them into charms, some of them I didn't. I regret making or not making most of my clay charms into an actual charm. Most of you have seen this nail art stand that I did create, and yes, this gingerbread man is covered in resin and is nice and cured, so it is ready to go to use. So I probably will be using it a lot more in some videos. I do need to get out some more nail content, but I have been creating and doing a lot of crafting, and I feel like I do a lot of that when it comes to the holidays, so you will be seeing a lot of that from me. I decided to create some cookies and I'm still working on them, so I've got some shading and stuff to do with them, so I have been slowly working on those, just creating really fun little creations here and there to make into some keychains or charms for bracelets and things like that. And also I wanted to see if I could make a couple for some friends and things like that. And if not, they will be for me to use. These also would make really good Christmas gifts, actually, or any sort of gift, any sort of holiday gift, or even if it's not holiday, these are really good gifts. They're so much fun to create, and they're really easy to make into a pair of earrings, or a charm for a bracelet, or a charm for a necklace, or something like that. So if you are new to resin, try this stuff out. If you are new to clay, polymer clay, try it out. I have not used air dry clay yet. That actually I have quite a while ago, but I have not used it in quite a while. So that's something that I want to get, is some air dry. And also I saw a different type of clay. It's like a foam type of clay, so it kind of dries. I think it's an air dry clay, but it dries thick. It's not so heavy like a polymer clay. So yes, that's something that I want to try as well. We are going to fill up the rest of these cherries all the way up. Not too much so that we overfill the molds, but we want to get enough in there so that we can connect the two parts together. The leaves kind of sit higher up at the top of the mold, and the cherry part kind of sits a little bit lower. So you got to fill up the rest of the mold with resin so that the two parts meet each other and it can be one, if that makes any sense. I have been working on little faces. I don't want them to look wonky, so I have been trying to get my very tiny little liners out and make some little faces and eyes with my brushes. So that's going to be fun to make, or to do, I should say. But yeah, I've got a couple of things out, a couple of glitter mixes. There's some red mixes that I do want to use because we are in the holiday season. I got some green chrome powder out because I wanted to put some of that in the leaf part of the cherries and see if we can get some more of that detail to pop out in the leaf part, because in the leaf part of the mold there is a little bit of detail, so I want to get that to pop out a little bit more. So I'm going to try that out. This piece here, kind of the vintage looking piece on the kind of the right here, I was going to say the bottom right of the screen. As you can see, it is a little flat. I did add some resin to it, but it is lying a little flat. So what I wanted to do or look like is I want it to look like it's domed. So I want it to kind of look like it's 3D. So after these cherries, I am going to take a little bit of this resin and kind of dome that vintage piece that you see there. And I love the mix that I chose for that piece because there's some silvers and golds and coppers in that mix, and also kind of holographic. So it's like vintage meets glam, and I love that look so much. I think that the piece came out really, really beautiful. I am going to cure these cherries, work on that vintage piece, and then show you at the end what it looks like. I do like to cure the pieces so that the resin doesn't really move around much, but I do also cure it in my big lamp for a couple of minutes, on each side is what I'm trying to say. So that's what I do. And I love this lamp. Well, I do want to find another one that does work without it being plugged in, just because it's a little bit easier with it not being plugged in. I love a portable lamp. Just like the nail lamps, I kind of want to see if there's a resin lamp that can work without being plugged in, that is nice and portable. So I want to look for something like that. But this is the piece that I was talking about doming. We're just adding drops of resin at a time. And I'm going to cure for a few minutes, and then we are going to see what it looks like finished. Now these molds here are molds that I have had for several years. I actually have never used these two molds here. They are made with a harder plastic. They do take a little bit to get out, but I do like the molds. For some reason the pieces come out really nice and shiny. I don't have to worry too much about over pouring, although these tiny little molds you have to be a little bit more careful with because they are a tinier mold and you can easily over pour, so you just have to be very, very careful. But I do like these molds, although they're a little bit tougher on your hands to get the pieces out. So if you've got hand issues, I probably wouldn't use these, but I like these because they are harder plastic. As you can see, I'm pushing on the heart, and some of them are a little bit easier to release the piece. These tinier ones I think might be a little bit more difficult to kind of press and release. As you can see, I am having a little bit of a struggle to get these out and show you what they look like. I eventually get them out, but like I said, if you have some hand issues, I probably wouldn't get these molds. I don't even know if anyone makes these molds anymore. I can't remember if I bought these from someone's site. Yes, I do remember. I believe there was a resin artist named MJ. I think her name was MJ, and I haven't seen her on YouTube for quite a while. But there was a huge resin community, not that there isn't now, but there was a different resin community, much different than there is now, several years ago. I don't know, maybe more than a decade ago, and resin was super hype. It's very much so popular now, but resin has been, and resin creations, this stuff has been around for quite a while, so it's nothing new. But there was a community a while ago, and I remember purchasing, because there was a quite a big group of resin artists that were making their own molds, and this is how they would make their molds, with this type of material. So I had bought several molds from her. So really quickly before I go, I wanted to show you a few of the molds that I am talking about. These are several molds that I had purchased from her, although do not see her anymore on YouTube. But these were really good molds, and I really like them, and I still have them around. I actually was washing them last night. There was a little piece there that is stuck there. But yes, these are nice and washed and ready to go and ready for use.